everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to Game 5 in a best of 7 series. We've got Spades, Rain Spades, that is, as the blue Terran over here on the bottom right side of Bel'Shir Beach. And his opponent, Vile.Hawk, just took a game off of him on MLG Metalopolis in Game 4. So, he is the reigning champion. He's already defeated Rain Perfect. He defeated Check 6. This is Jimmy 4-1 just last week, and now he finds himself in a hole. He's down 1-3. He's going to need 3 more straight if he's going to continue being our champion here on the V. It is week 24 this year, hosted by Complexity Gaming, sponsored by Creative Sound Blaster, PNY, and QPadUSA.com. I'm AskJoshy, or Josh Suth, whatever you want to call me. You can check out my stuff on Twitter.com, Facebook.com, and YouTube.com/AskJoshy, just like that. Okay. But the live stream is here at twitch.tv/complexity. Go tell your friends all about it. We have the V each and every Sunday. It used to be Fridays, but then I moved to San Francisco and couldn't really do Fridays anymore because I'm on the West Coast and I'm at work usually. Anyway, yeah, we're Sundays now. Kind of bounces between 8 p.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific, unfortunately. It's kind of hard to nail down a time that works every single weekend, but we will have games for you every single weekend, except for next weekend, which is MLG Raleigh, and any other live event weekends in North America. We probably won't have the V just because everyone will be going to the live events, including myself. So, Hawk versus Spades, Game 5 here. Spades showed us some pretty good play in Games 1 and 2. Hawk went for a failed all-in 6-pool plus drone pull on that third game, and then Hawk actually showed some really good play in Game 4 and managed to take a game off of Spades. Spades has not even really built anything yet except for the supply depot. I'm actually a little bit surprised he didn't drop that here at the little choke between the main and the natural Bel'Shir Beach. If you're not familiar with it, it's going to be a fun time for you because there's water everywhere. The creep in the water looks crazy. Baneling landmines in the water all look crazy. Everything just looks crazy on this map, and here comes the barracks. This is the same sort of thing we saw on Tal'Darim Altar. It's structured very much the same way, except you have like a little bit of high ground here for some reason. You can put like a bunker there and just shoot at Zerglings that try to enter your base. It almost reminds me of one of those defensive maps like Left to Die or something like that, but this drone never going to escape. Probably going to be trying that gas steal here in just a moment. Not even a gas steal, really, just building an extractor to keep the drone alive longer and annoy Spades. Oh, he could have dropped it there and actually blocked that refinery, but he's a little bit too slow. Here's a gold base just outside of each player's main that can actually be super good for Terran players because they can just build the command center here, drop it here, build it and fly away. If the Zerg attack, it can be a little bit more difficult for the Zerg player to hold because the ground distance is actually really long between your main and that third base. Drone still staying alive, just checking things out. Second refinery did go up, so we're not going to see an extractor out of him. Second command center is almost done, so he can flip that over to an orbital, build lots and lots of SCVs and mules, and take that economic lead. Even though he's on one base, he can take an economic lead over 2 base Zerg due to those mules. Back inside the base of Hawk, just that one extractor, just that one spawning pool. No gas spent just yet. Not sure what he's going to do first. Drone, chillin', just looking around, just taking it in. Taking a look at everything that Spades is doing. He knows what's going on because he's already seen this in Game 2. Orbital command is finished. Mule has not been dropped yet. There it goes finally, and the SCV has been started. Factory coming up for Spades. This is the same sort of build we've seen every single time from Mr. Spades. Usually we see Tank Marine. One time we saw Blue Flame Hellions into Tank Marine. Didn't quite work out. I'll be surprised if he doesn't just go Tank Marine this time. Let's look for some add-ons. None just yet. And a second factory coming up here, which makes me think Tank Marine. Blue Flame Hellions are still a possibility, but this map can actually be pretty difficult to use those Blue Flame Hellions. It's kind of a long distance between that main and natural, gives the Zerg player time to react. He could build spine crawlers sort of in this little choke area, and these Hellions can be quite ineffective. So I'd be surprised if that was a reactor, I'd be surprised. Tech Lab, not surprising at all. Tank Marine, Tank Marine, Tank Marine. Every day I'm Tank Marining. Here's another Marine popping out here soon. I'm surprised he hasn't tacked on a reactor yet. He does have the minerals and the gas. Hawk is taking a supply lead pretty quickly with those harvesters and building 7 more drones right now. Getting a lair up extremely quickly. That is one benefit of keeping your drone alive super duper long inside your opponent's main. You can tell they don't have many units to come attack you yet, so you have time to tech. You have time to throw down extractors. You could even take a third base because you are a Zerg player, Hawk. You can do whatever you want when you know that your Terran opponent doesn't have units. Blue Flame, Spades, you tricked me. I can't believe you're going Blue Flame a second game in a row when it did not work very well in Metalopolis, which is a great map for Blue Flame. Bel'Shir Beach is not the best map for Blue Flame. Oh, check out these Xel'Naga towers. They're actually pretty cool. Look at that. That's a cool Xel'Naga tower. It's like a cryostasis gas something or other Xel'Naga tower, even though the graphic is wrong. That's weird, but whatever. Spades just taking a look there, not going to see anything. Overlord hanging out for Vile.Hawk, taking a look at this natural. He knows that the orbital's down, he knows there's a bunker there. What else is going on here? Blue Flame Hellions, oh yeah, he's making tons and tons of those little guys. 3 coming out at a time. Blue Flame going to be done here in just a moment. Derp. Blue Flame Hellion looking for some drones to kill, not going to find a third base. He's probably pretty happy to see that. We do have a couple of queens and a spine-crawler coming up now for Hawk. He is actually bridging the gap between his main and his natural with creep. He did not do that on Tal'Darim Altar. He actually had like no creep spread at all on Tal'Darim Altar, and it resulted in a 16-minute loss. But no tanks just yet. Still just a bunch of Hellions. Looks like another wave of 3 has been completed. He's going to join up his 2 buddies here at the Xel'Naga Tower. And actually the Zerglings running past the other Xel'Naga Tower. They're not going to see the Blue Flame Hellions. I don't believe. No, actually no vision at all. And Spades is totally undefended back at home until he can get a couple more Hellions out. These SCVs are in big trouble. He's going to pull all of them. The mule gets killed off extremely quickly. There's 2 Blue Flame Hellions to the rescue, and he actually returned home with all of his Hellions. So he's just going to join forces here, defend his natural mineral line, and now he is going up to the top. Let's see if he's gonna kill any stuff. Wow, Creep Tumor's eating it pretty quickly there. Ling's, of course, not gonna be able to do anything. I'm surprised Hawk just basically threw those to the slaughter. Scan goes down for Hawk. Scan goes down for Spades. He's gonna see all these Creep Tumors before they're even done forming and just roll past them. 2 Spine Crawlers are done. 2 Queens are in position to protect these poor little Lings. A Thor is actually on the way here. Totally missed the armory. He went Blue Flame Hellions into Mass Thor. Now he's building lots of SCVs to act as a repair force. He's getting a tech lab added on to something, another factory. He's going to be on 4 fac here soon. That's something you don't see every day. These Hellions still just cruising around. He's got so many darn Hellions, and all these Mutalisks coming out. Spades expected that as a response to his early game, of course. Basically, Hawk always builds Mutalisks, so Bel'Shir Beach just being crazy once again. Told you we were going to see crazy things. I just didn't know what. So we're going to see 4 fac Fast Thor, Blue Flame Hellion build out of Spades. We're going to see Mutaling, Baneling out of Mr. Vile.Hawk, which we see every game, so that's not that crazy. But he is taking a 3rd base now here at the top spawn. He's got some Mutalisks out. First Thor is done, but not a Collector's Edition Thor, so I am sorely disappointed in Mr. Spades. Anyone who mains Terran should have the Collector's Edition Thor. Even I have it, and all I do is play 4v4. But we do have these Mutalisks checking out the main. Gonna see a Thor, gonna see some turrets, not gonna live. And just a lot of Mutalisks still flying around the center of the map, waiting for their Banelings and their Speedlings to catch up in number. 7 drones popping out for Vile.Hawk. That's going to put him at like 67 drones. Wow. 4th base coming up for Hawk. This is the first time in, let's see, 11 games last week and this week. First time in 11 games that he's not gone 3 base and then macro hatch. Instead, he's just going straight for that 4th base because it's Bel'Shir Beach and things are crazy on Bel'Shir Beach. You didn't know that? You didn't know that? But anyway, lots and lots of Mutalisks flying in now. Let's see. Derp. Muta's just flying around, not doing anything. Okay, 4 Thors are done. Lots of Blue Flame Hellions are done. This is the mass splash strategy. I'd be surprised if we don't see some tanks getting mixed in there as well. This is a build that I remember from the beta. No, not the beta. Maybe a couple months after release. If you remember a man by the name of Silver, he used this very strategy, mass splash. Thors for mutas, Hellions for light units, siege tanks for heavy units, or armored units, excuse me. I just called it the mass splash strategy, and Idra hated it. He said very mean things to Mr. Silver, if you remember back in the day. Those games actually are on my YouTube channel, AskJoshy. If you want to check those out later, just search Silver Idra, and you'll see a little bit of StarCraft 2 history. That actually was about a year ago. It's crazy to think that Silver was in his prime a year ago. But anyway, Until Extreme Masters New York is actually coming up very soon. Same weekend as MLG Orlando, I believe, unfortunately, but I won't be able to go to IEM New York as a result. So sad. Anyway, lots of mutas here now. We got 18 in the sky. We have tons of Thors. 7 Thors. This is so many. I barely ever see 7 Thors. Look at all this energy. I remember Thor started with energy so they could cast this 250mm strike cannon, which Spades is just totally skipping on because it's still a pretty bad ability. And then they didn't have energy at all, so they couldn't be feedbacked because of their stupid idle energy, because no one ever uses 250mm strike cannons. And now they're back to more energy, so they can be feedbacked. Very, very interesting sort of evolution that the Thors have gone through, but he's going to blast his way in here. Whoa, here comes the Zergling Shredder. Check that out. Mutalisk Banelings. Banelings surrounding all these Thors. Let's watch those health bars of the Thors. They totally get destroyed. Oh my goodness, I did not expect them to get wrecked to such a degree. Those Hellions did not do their jobs. Spades just lost like 1 billion supply in army, and now there's only 1 Thor left, and Spades GG's after losing his entire army. Oh my goodness. Hawk fighting his way back 2-3 now in the V, week 24. Let's go into game 6, see what happens next.